Hey everybody, welcome to Fatso. How you doing? This episode of Fatso Radio is brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. Volpe Martial Arts is KW's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido school. My brother, Soo and I'm, comes to you 5 days a week. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. Folks, this episode, another short one. I'm back in the Soo. I'm getting back on track. What does that mean? You'll have to hear. Thanks for your likes, thanks for your shares, thanks for your subscriptions and everything. Email me, fatsoradio@gmail.com. I want you to be on the show. Check it out. I love you all. Fatso Radio. Let me take it away.
Fatso, the really good podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? This episode of Fatso Radio and every episode of Fatso Radio so far and in the future is going to be brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. Volpe Martial Arts is KW's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido school. My brother, Soo Adam, brings you his lifelong passion, lifelong dream, 5 days a week. Check it out, volpemartialarts.com. Good thing, this is a good time to remind everybody, or a good time to introduce everybody to the idea that I'm open to more sponsors. I'm open to more community sponsors, of course, but online sponsors all over the place. Let me know, fatsoradio@gmail.com. I also want to bring this podcast even more to the local scene now that I'm back in Sault Ste. Marie, which is my home, of course, and I'm so glad to be back. I'm going to be talking about that this episode. But now that I'm back, I want to really get around town and really get around to the people I know, but the people I don't know in the community, the whole local scene, and see what the Soo has to offer. And not just about diet, not just about nutrition, but about farming, about health, about medical, about everything you can think of in this local area. That's what I want to talk about. But today, I want to talk about, in this episode number 165 of Fatso Radio, I want to talk about getting back on track. And this week, I feel really good that I've gotten back on track. And if you've been following me along, you've seen that, or if you've been paying attention, you've seen that it's been hard for me to get back on track. I spent a couple months now where I've just been really lazy, just been really unfocused. And these last few weeks now, it's been still a few weeks to get me back on track. And I'm finally feeling like I'm back on track this week. And I'll tell you what I've been doing. First of all, again, it's March. What is it? March? No, it's April 1st today. Wow, April Fool's. This is not a joke, but April 1st. And this episode, or this week rather, I kind of went back to my roots. I went back to my roots as I'm back in the Soo, but I also went back to my roots as far as what works for me. What works for me is water, meat, and salt. I know that may sound crazy to a lot of people, but really, like, cured meat works well for me. Just meat in general with a lot of salt on it, and then just drinking a lot of water. And it was a good time because it was perfect timing almost for me, because I started a new job this week, and it's a job where I was able to just eat whenever throughout the day, or drink water throughout the day. And it's in an office, so I wasn't limited to just walking around or being limited to certain times where I can stop and eat. That being said, I didn't eat throughout the day much at all, because I found it pretty good, not to eat throughout the day. In the past, I've spent through the most part of the sunlight hours, at least, not eating at all, and then eating at night. And I've done the opposite. I've had big breakfasts in the past, and then I haven't eaten for the rest of the day. I'm going to test this out. In the past, when I was walking and exercising so much, when I was delivering mail, I would eat at night, a huge meal at night, and then not again until the next day. So that worked well for me because I didn't have to eat during the day as I was walking and as I was working. Now, so far, I'm going to try the same thing, but I may go back to eating a breakfast again. I can't see where I would actually need a breakfast in the morning. If I didn't need a breakfast in the morning, and I was still able to walk all day long and work all day long outside in a physical job, I can't see why I'll need to do it now, especially after I've gained some weight. I really need to kind of hit it hard. So not going to eat during the day, especially if I'm not really, burning much calories at all. So, and that's been going pretty good. Throughout the day, I haven't been eating much. At lunch, I maybe had a couple sausages or a couple pieces of like salami or something, like jerky or something. And then just drinking a lot of water. The key for me has been to keep the salt up. Every time in the past, or every time for a lot of people, when they go to a low carb diet, or they go back to a low carb diet, even, they'll feel that keto flu, even if it hasn't. If some people think that you only go through a keto flu one time, but for a lot of people, you can go through it many times. Depends how far off the rails you went. So it's been pretty good for me. I can tell that I'm getting back into a swing of things where I'm feeling better about what I'm eating. You know, I'm not retaining water as much as I was a couple of weeks ago. You know, again, it's only been a week now, but I feel better already. And it's only been really the last 4 or 5 days in this week that I've really been strict. And today's been great. I just ate meat and drank water. And again, I'm keeping the salt up because a lot of times when people feel that keto flu or that fatigue, it's because you're losing a lot of electrolytes. When you get back into ketosis, you pee a lot. When you pee, you lose a lot of your electrolytes. You use your salts, your magnesium, your potassium, your sodium, your chloride, all those electrolytes that you need for electricity in your body, for you to stay alive, for you to be energetic, for you to really tap into that energy quickly, right? You need to have those electrolytes. They're there to run the electricity in your body. So again, I'm going to be a short episode, but I really want to kind of get into detail, and it's going to be quick. But in the morning, no breakfast, right? That's what works for me. Again, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not giving you nutritional advice, but I'm just giving you my perspective, what's worked for me so far, and what's I hope it's going to work. I know this is going to work for me, but the key or the question always is, am I going to stay on track, right? And I have, of course, and I went off a little bit, but I'm going to get back on track again. And this time I want to, again, I don't know what I can do differently to stay on, but maybe it's just staying, diligent and spreading the word. And I think that's one of the things that is going to keep me doing this podcast. If I keep on doing it, is that I do need this podcast, and I need, I don't need it, I guess, but it's very good for me because it keeps me on track and keeps me accountable. When I'm not accountable, the last couple of months, it's been hard sometimes, to be honest with you, to come up and yeah, I've been 100% honest, but it's hard sometimes to say, yeah, I screwed up again, guys. I've gained 20, 30 pounds or whatever it was. But anyway, I'm going to get back on track. And I want to, again, maintain now even higher level, right? When I lost a bunch of weight, I lost 100 pounds. And then if I've gained some back, I want to lose more and then not gain as much back again. I want to really, losing more weight, but I want to up my base level of fitness, up my base level of overall health. So then I'm less susceptible. I think much like your immune system, if your immune system is strong and robust and healthy, and you're less susceptible to an invader. I think that's the same way with your strength and your body, right? If you're in good shape and you don't have an over amount of body fat for your liking, right, and for your best mechanical movements, then you're going to be more resilient to injury. You're going to be more resilient to even colds and disease as well, because your body's less taxed, right? If you're overweight and you're battling diseases or ailments that are because of your health condition, because of your weight, which I have and other people have, no judgment, but it's harder on your body. It's harder for your body to respond to anything at all, stress or physical stress, mental stress, every kind of stress. But at the same time, you don't want to stress yourself out too much doing something when it's going to be, physical, if it's going to be bad on your body, and vice versa. So a clean diet, of course, not to go in a circle too much, but a clean diet is the key to it. And this week, like I said, I'm not here to say I've been eating the perfect diet. I'm not here to say that I've been eating the diet that you should eat. But for me, this has been good this month, or this week rather, as a really back on track kind of week. It's my first week back. Sorry, my second week back in the Soo, first week at work. And new jobs are stressful, right? This job is great. I love the people. It's beautiful people. I'm going to be talking about them more in the future, but it's great. And but it's stressful. There's a little bit of anxiety, there's a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of you don't know the people, and you're learning, right? So you're learning much. That's another thing too. You're learning so much, and you're absorbing so much. And I've felt great eating meat, and I always feel good eating meat. And when I go off, I don't feel as good. I have always been keeping the meat, which is good for me. I think if I went off my diet of eating all this meat, or mostly meat, and then I just went off and ate a bunch of other stuff and not meat, I think it'd be even worse for me. But at least I've kept keeping the basis of having meat, because I believe the nutrition in meat is far better than we've been giving it a lot of credit for. And I think we're going to find out as time goes on that meat is it's superior. It's not only equal to the fruits and vegetables, it's superior. And yeah, so anyway, that's how I'm feeling, and I'm feeling good. Like I said, I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to try and start walking again more, and start lifting more weights. I'm going to really try and get into a better physical shape. When you have a job that's not physical, you have the energy after the work, to do it. You might not have the time sometimes, but you have the energy. And so I think I'm going to try and balance that out, see how it goes. Weekends, I'm training kickboxing, see what we're going to do. Master John, I'm looking for you. And it's been a long time since a few months since I've really trained in martial arts. So the whole thing with the house, the whole thing with me starting my old job, and having to quit that last job when I came to the Soo, and now starting this new job, It's very exciting. A lot of things going on, and it's another time as well. It's so easy to fall off track. It's so easy to let things just happen in life, and next thing you know, you're like, oh man, I feel like crap. I'm heavy, and I feel like I don't know. For me, again, I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to assume how you feel, but for me, a lot of times it's easy for me to say, holy shit, I've gained 20 pounds, and 20 pounds comes and goes for me pretty easily, but it's still 20 freaking pounds. For you, maybe, hey, I've gained 10 pounds, or for you, maybe if you gain weight really fast, maybe you gain 20 pounds or 30 pounds. But again, there's a silver lining to everything, right? If you're the type of person that your body can fluctuate quickly in the negative, then you may have a high tendency to fluctuate positive quickly as well. So, and for me, that's my case. Once I hit it hard, once I hit it hard with my diet, once I hit it hard with my gym, or my workout, my routine, whether it's lifting weights or whether it's just walking, like I can go and I can go and I can go, and that's good, right? But the key for me, again, I'm not a doctor, but the key for me is keeping my nutrition on track. Because if my nutrition is on track, then my eating habits are on track. If my eating habits are on track, then my mental health is better, right? My moods are better. Your ability to handle stress is better if you're not hungry. That's just a simple one for me. That alone, folks. Episode number 165 of Fatso Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching Fatso Radio. If you want to be on Fatso Radio, and I want you to be on Fatso Radio, if you want me to come to your business, if you want me to come to your whatever you're doing, whatever small business you have or big business you have, you want to interview, you have a farm, I want to talk to you. And I want to hear from you. fatsoradio@gmail.com. Thank you everybody so much for listening. Thank you everybody so much for watching and for subscribing, for that like, and for sharing. If you have an episode you like, share it with one of your friends. If you have an episode you don't like, don't share it. That's okay. Thank you everybody for watching. I love y'all. Peace. Fatso Radio. Let's say bye to everybody. And we'll say thanks for listening. Say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
So get your butt and get in your chair.
Don't eat your nails and don't pull your hair.
We'll talk about chicken or talk about steak.
We'll talk about fat, for goodness sake.
Fatso, the really great podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.